I'm definitely with it. And I think in a weaker Southwest division this year, I'm not saying it's theirs for the taking because I know your Mavericks probably gonna end up taking it, but for right now, I'm with it. I'm with the idea, and I think there's longevity to John Morant's game, and over the next 57 games, whenever he comes back, man, it's going to be fireworks, and no pun intended, but it's going to be shots.
What is up? This is Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast presented by Zing Zang's Blazing Bloody Mary Mix and The Celebrity Mint. I'm here with the Houston Rockets What We Learned edition. King, Josh Garcia, how we doing, bud?
I'm good, man. I'm watching the Celtics game right now. It's kind of a battle of pace, and I'm noticing Luke Cornett, Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser. You know, it's a show for the dogs. You know, the gritty boys, and I'm really having a great time here.
Yeah, Luke Cornett, New York Knicks legend.
Shout out
if you don't remember King. Yeah, he spent time there with old Kuzmingus and DeAndre Jordan and whoever else you want to. Oh, Emmanuel Mudiay, he was on that team.
Oh yeah. Never forget that game winner. We're
onto the path of just naming random basketball players that played for the Knicks at one point.
All day.
But we're recording this on Monday night, December 4th at 7:51 p.m. It is currently middle of the third quarter of the Boston Celtics and Indiana Pacers NBA in-season tournament knockout stage game. So it's the first game. Recording this a day late, had some scheduling conflicts, but before we get into the NBA in-season tournament, we got a few things to discuss. Your coach called LeBron James a bitch.
Yep, and I stand on it. I love LeBron. I think he's one of, if not the GOAT. We'll at least say he's the modern GOAT. But if he's bitching and if Ime Udoka notices it, he'll tell you. And I love that he's not only standing up for his guys, but standing up for himself in a way. It almost feels like the team aspect came out, and he was just kind of on an individual, deal. And I respect that in a way, but I don't know. The fact that we did lose that game kind of made me a little sad. But I was kind of watching this video over and over, and it was just a quote tweet, and it was somebody trying to explain the lip reading, and Apparently he said, "Yeah, I said that. What you gonna do about what I said? Walking over here like you're gonna do something, soft ass boy," which is absolutely insane to say to a grown man. Which I understand why LeBron took offense to it. At first, I was like, "Oh, maybe he's just getting offended because he called him a bitch, essentially." But it turns out it was probably a little deeper than that, and there's probably a lot more of the situation that we don't know about. Maybe it was 20 years in the making because there was a video that came out. It was a straight minute highlight film of LeBron just cooking Ime Udoka as a player from about like 03 to 06, and I think that there's some definite history there. But yeah, not a good week for our Rockets, but I think that was definitely a shining point, even though it didn't really go our way at the end of the game.
Yeah, I saw the tweet and was like, someone's going to pull up the footage of Ime getting just absolutely cooked by LeBron, and it's just 20 years of pin-up aggression from Ime Udoka. Although, I will say, LeBron, kudos to you. Don't use that term so loosely was the lip reading on that. I think Ime Udoka said to stop bitching about no calls or whatever was happening in the game. I didn't watch it, just saw the highlights. LeBron calling out for that. Warranted based on Udoka's past. Just saying.
Yep.
We can't avoid that.
Yep.
So LeBron, kudos for you pointing that out, but like don't use that term so loosely. Thought that was really funny because he was being serious, but he's also taking a dig at him at the same time, I think.
Yep.
So I thought that was quite clever and interesting. But Udoka did kind of cook LeBron.
Yeah. Outside of everything else, I love the fact that I don't love this, but the fact that he cheated on Nia Long and lost his job because he cheated on Nia Long, like that was the craziest double L I've ever seen. And I'm glad that he's recovering from it. I'm more than happy that he's our head coach, but it's just like, damn, you lost a lot with that transaction that you made. Respectfully.
Yes. Very funny moment on Bill Simmons's podcast this morning. I was listening. I don't know, House. I kind of miss him. I kind of wish he was my coach.
My favorite.
Okay, he's a good guy. He just get in their face. He gave a shit. He gave a shit, House. I don't know. Bill Simmons literally said this on the pod. I don't know if it was with House or Cousin Sal. I can't remember which one it was, but he literally just started talking about Ime Udoka during the middle of an NFL segment. Like, crazy NFL week can happen and playoff implications are going crazy. He's full on NFL mode, and he just breaks out of Ime Udoka. Kind of wish he was my coach still
Yeah.
in the middle of an NFL segment.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Yeah.
It was peak Bill Simmons listening for me. I don't know why I keep going back because every take is just either wrong or outrageous, and I'm like, but I can't help it.
But that's what
His
sucks
voice,
you in. That's what sucks you
his
in.
voice, it captivates me. It's been doing this for 10 years. I can't help it. I just go back every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, except for the 3-month break that he takes in the middle of the summer and doesn't talk about the Damian Lillard trade when he says he's going to do an emergency pod if a trade happens.
No.
Never did it. Never did it, Bill.
That's fucked up.
I was clamoring for it for 3 weeks. I was like it's a junkie.
Yeah.
I needed my crack. Bill Simmons is my crack.
No, man, that's me with
Turns out.
Russillo for sure. I love Russillo to death. I mean, like clockwork, like you said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I mean, it's peak. It's peak sports. Like, so well spoken. I get the Bill Simmons deal because in a way he's kind of a meme, but
yes,
you know, I definitely I love the fact that you're on week 3 of your Bill Simmons impression. I think it's getting better, honestly, as the show keeps going on. Like,
I'm gonna just start practicing every day.
You're doing great.
By the end of this season, I'm gonna have it fucking nailed down.
Oh yeah.
CJ Stroud. I don't know if I believe in a quarterback that has initials as his name. You know, House. I don't know.
Was that a direct quote, or was that just you?
No, that was a direct quote from this summer after CJ Stroud got drafted. He's like, I don't believe this is NFL talk. We're doing what Bill Simmons did literally today. Sorry about that, guys. But Ime Udoka calling LeBron a bitch was very funny and warranted at some point. Someone had to call him out, and of course it's Ime Udoka. Like, that just makes so much sense.
Oh yeah. Just glad I could witness it.
It was funny. Zing Zang. Zing Zang's Blazing Bloody Mary Mix. If you haven't already, go try that out. Zing Zang's Blazing Bloody Mary Mix. It's cold outside. You can go get the Bloody Mary Mix infused with bacon, already pre-made with vodka. You don't even have to buy the vodka. You just buy the bottle, pour yourself a glass, put some ice in it, or no ice. I don't know what you like. Put some bacon, celery, whatever, tomatoes. I don't really know what goes in a Bloody Mary. I'm still figuring that out. But Blazing Bloody Mary Mix from Zing Zang. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. This is the Zing Zang Blazing Hot Take. Will the Memphis Grizzlies, without Ja Morant for the first 25 games, make the playoffs this year?
Absolutely, because every single playoff team, or every single year in the playoffs, we need one team where it's one guy just shooting 30 shots a game, you know, maybe 8 or 9 assists, couple boards, you know. Every team needs that one star, or excuse me, I keep saying team. Every single year, we need this one star. And I feel like Ja Morant playing for the last 57 games will definitely make a huge difference. I think him and Marcus Smart together are going to kind of be, you know, the Shiesty duo. You know what I mean? I'm really going to enjoy the defense that's going to come out of that. And they're going to pull up in their ski masks, have a good time. I'm definitely with it. And I think in a weaker Southwest division this year, I'm not saying it's theirs for the taking, because I know your Mavericks probably going to end up taking it. But for right now, I'm with it. I'm with the idea. And I think there's longevity to Ja Morant's game. And over the next 57 games, whenever he comes back, man, it's going to be fireworks. And no pun intended, but it's going to be shots.
That's there's the clip. Found that one. Ja Morant suspended for 25 games. They are 5-14 currently, so they still have 6 more games. I don't know who those 6 games are against. I didn't look at that, but odds are you're probably not going 500 if you're 5-14. Jaren Jackson Jr. does not look like a defensive player of the year or an all-star or anything. Desmond Bane is just chucking shots up at an alarming rate, which will go down, and he'll probably revert to a better player because someone else is taking the shots for him, and he is just there to space and be a part of the offense and help that out. Marcus Smart is injured and out for a while. I think a few more weeks. It is like doomsday in Memphis as of right now, 5-14. Do you think they'd have to win at like a 60-win average clip the rest of the season once Ja comes back?
Yeah. I'm noticing There's kind of a weird thing going on in Memphis, like you were mentioning. It's going to take a lot, and I really do think that pick and roll game or pick and pop game with Triple J and John Morant, I think that's going to entirely change the floor as we see it in the half court. Not even just with this team, but of course in each other team that they play, it's going to be a huge difference maker. They probably could win 60% of their games going out. I mean, honestly, I'd say they probably finished 45-37 at the minimum. And
Wow.
I'm sorry, that might be a hot take, but I genuinely believe that. I'm a big John Morant guy. I know that it's been a little tough for us John Morant heads over the past couple months, but we're here. We're here. We're in numbers. We support you, Ja. I am with you. I'm with you, Ja.
Because I think he's allowed to practice with the team. I don't think he's allowed to maybe he is allowed to travel. I don't really know what the deal is with his suspension. I just know he's not playing NBA basketball games. And typically the first month of the season, we're like looking at superstars. Sometimes we're like, oh no, what happened to this guy? And then they pick it up after game 10,
Yeah.
whatever. It takes a month of conditioning. Like training camps get shorter because the season gets longer. There's more space in between games now, so the season goes even longer. Then you have the FIBA World Championships this past summer, so like people aren't getting rest. So like the rust comes off, it's fine.
Yeah.
What does the rust look like when Ja comes back? Does he come back and is just like, all right, here's 25, 10, and 6, like we're chilling? Or is it 20 points on 35% shooting and he's not giving too many assists out and the rest of the team is not doing well and Marcus Smart and Ja start fighting each other? I don't know what happens. I'm very skeptical.
Yeah, that does beg the question, though. I mean, I love the idea that you brought up with the Rust thing. Honestly, I didn't even think about that because it is an entirely new season for him. But it's going to be one of those kind of. I mean, it's going to really be: is he a dog or is he not? And I think give him 10 games. You know, he might start out averaging 18, shooting 41, 42% from the field, but once he kind of gets past that and starts playing, more opponents that I guess play up to the Grizzlies, I feel like he'll be up for that challenge even more. But I really did like your point that you mentioned because, like I said, I just think about with the positives with John Morant, and it's good to actually look at it from an objective standpoint. And
yeah, and I could absolutely see them making the playoffs, but I'm leaning towards just they're not going to make the playoffs. The West is incredibly good and incredibly deep. Like we didn't expect the Rockets to be around 500. We expected them to be a little bit under 500, maybe right at 500. They could be 5, 6, 10 games over 500 by the end of the season. We don't know yet. They're very well coached and they play a lot of defense, but like the rest of the West is no joke. And now Minnesota's right at the top. There's a lot of problems. The LA teams are good. Dallas is seemingly a 500 team, which might get you in the top 10 top 10 into the play-in. So there's a lot of teams standing in their way, and them starting 5-14 is not a death sentence, but you're walking to the guillotine.
Yeah, definitely. The bottom is the bottom, and especially in the West, like it is bad. It is bad, bad, bad. But like we were talking about earlier today, the youth movement that I've been noticing, especially in the West, it's going to be hard for the Grizzlies to stay up to that, especially with their diminished roster. And I hate to say Dylan Brooks made an impact on that Grizzlies team, but he did.
Turns out
He did. He did. And I always knew that. I've never ever talked shit about Dylan Brooks ever. Neither have you. Neither have any of us.
I've talked a lot of shit about Dylan Brooks.
Well, that makes one of us. I think that it's great that the Grizzlies have this chance. And I mean, 25 games is a lot, but 57 is a hell of a lot more games. And like I mentioned, I think Jaren Jackson will figure it out too. I honestly haven't been keeping up too much with him this year, so I'm not going to give you percentages or points or anything like that. But from what I have seen on League Pass this past couple months, they'll be fine. They'll definitely be fine. But my biggest problem with them, I was watching about half of that Suns game. I think it was the day after Thanksgiving. Yeah. And it was a G League team out there, straight G League team. the amount of slick back hair that I saw on that court, this is not an NBA roster at all.
No, it's definitely not. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
They'll be okay.
If they lose the next 6 games, it's over. 21 losses, done. Done. Next blazing hot take from Zing Zang. Are Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert the best big man tandem in the league? I will stop you before you say anything. The answer is yes. There's no comparison. There's no other team that has two big men that can do what they do. They are both opposites, but they are seemingly playing well together. I don't know how it's happening. I don't know why it's happening. But yes, the answer is yes.
Yes.
They're the best big man
You're
tandem.
right. We have nothing to compare them to. And I think that's what makes them cool as fuck. Like, enjoying this T-Wolves run, I mean, every single game I've seen, it's been Rudy Gobert just shitting on almost every single person that he's seeing, and Karl Anthony Towns playing the way that he should be, and honestly, the way he's always been playing. A lot of people don't like Karl Anthony Towns. I like Karl Anthony Towns. I'm a big Western Conference guy, but
Karl Anthony Towns did say that they had the best series of all time against the Denver Nuggets. They lost in 5.
Yeah. It was a fun 5, but it wasn't. Probably didn't even.
It wasn't even like as close as the Lakers 4 was.
Yeah.
And they won a game.
Yeah.
Okay, Karl. I like Karl. Kentucky guy. He'd fit great in New York. He'd be a great Knick, but I don't think they're going to trade him anymore. I think they're playing too well. And they have this weird dynamic. Karl Anthony Towns is able to spread the floor out and not have to play defense, and now Rudy Gobert gets to be the anchor of the defense like he's good at. Post up, block shots, make layups. I don't know. It's working. I don't know how. I really don't. I don't understand it, but
I'm with you. I'm with you, Minnesota. I love it. That youth movement, like I mentioned, Anthony Edwards is the most fun player. We've already talked about this. He's awesome.
Yeah.
So fun to watch. Love that squad.
But those were the Zing Zang Blazing Bloody Mary mix, Blazing Hot Takes. Thank you to Zing Zang for sponsoring this episode. Let's move into the NBA in-season tournament talk. So currently, Monday night, after 8 p.m. God's time zone, Central Standard Time. If you're unfamiliar with God's time zone, it's where the best football is played.
That's right.
Naturally, that's what's happening. So right now, it's I don't know if it's the fourth quarter yet or the third quarter. Just went to a replay. 74-77. Boston is losing currently to the Indiana Pacers with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. We're gonna do quick prediction on this game since it's already being played out. It's been fun. The court's not bad. Indiana just hit a 3, so now it's 80-74. We're just gonna get live updates. This is a little Inception rewind for the listener and the watcher. Celtics versus Pacers. It's a knockout round. We're finally here. What I don't even know how to call this game. I originally was going to take the Celtics. Pacers playing pretty good. I don't know.
Is Jason Tatum playing? Oh, this is bad. I'm a bad ball knower. Is he playing tonight?
Oh, I think he's on the court.
Okay.
That doesn't mean he's playing very good basketball.
Okay.
But he's on the court.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Fair. I think the Celtics will pull it out. They'll be fine. I would love to see Tyrese Halliburton in a playoff scenario. That'd be sick. That'd be so sick to me. But I mean, you got a veteran presence. Al Horford could give you 12 points any game, man. Those 12 points could come right now. Who knows? I'm definitely with the Celtics.
I'll pull up the box score.
Yeah, let's do it live.
I'll pull up the
baby.
box score for the listener. This is tremendous content.
This is
Pacers are up 9, minute and a half left. Jason Tatum has 19 points.
Yeah, okay.
11 rebounds, 5 assists, so not bad. Derek White has 14. Jaylen Brown has 18. Drew Holiday has 7. Al Horford has 0 points on 2 shots.
12 can come out anywhere.
Sam Hauser has 12, off the bench. That's good. Wow, the Pacers box score. Obi Toppin with 12. Bruce Brown with 12. Miles Turner with 15. Tyrese Halliburton with 19. And Buddy Hield with 8. So almost every starter with double digits.
Love
and then Benedict Mathurin with 11 off the bench.
Nice. Arizona guy.
This game's been interesting. We've had it. I keep looking at it in the corner. Sorry for the viewer on YouTube. Follow us on @ApolloHOU. Hit that subscribe button, like button, comment. All the good things. The Pacers are fun. They don't play defense, and they shoot a lot of threes. They shoot literally 100 times a game. Rick Carlisle, I don't know where this was in Dallas when you have Luka Doncic. Like, why wouldn't you just try to do this?
Exactly.
Just let him run down the court and jack up a 3. Odds are he's probably going to make 35, 38, 40% of them. On a good night, he's going to make 60. And all of a sudden, you're up by 40 and at halftime. It would be tremendous. I don't know where that was. Rick Carlisle, I don't know. I don't know where this came from. how it happened, but this is fun. I like Tyrese Halliburton,
Yeah,
and it's a shame that the Kings chose to trade the wrong point guard.
yeah. I know you hated on Buddy Hield, but he dropped 30 the other night. I will always be a Buddy Hield truther. He had the most points in the NCAA like history, damn near at one point, right? At Oklahoma.
Well, yeah, because he was like a 26-year-old playing against 18-year-olds.
That's neither here nor there, dude. We're talking about Heisman people.
Semantics.
We're talking about Heisman candidates playing in their fifth and sixth years. Come on, like it's okay. He was a baller
That's
though.
fair.
He was a baller.
No, the Pacers team is fun. They've been trade block candidates for the last 3 years
Yep.
with Miles Turner and Buddy
Yep.
Hield. Like they've just been doing it every year, and no one's traded for them. No one's offered them anything except for the Lakers. Allegedly offered them the 2 first-round picks, and I don't know what else it was before they did like the Jared Vanderbilt and all those little mini trades that they did at the deadline last year.
Yeah.
But the Pacers team is fun. Boston is good. They're a finals contender. They're arguably the best team in the East. But the Pacers team is fun, and I just like the vibes more. And it's not the Celtics. So I'm going to go with the Pacers. They're up 9 right now. Yeah, they're up 9. So, I mean, it's kind of cheating. But
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Pacers to move on to the next round on the Eastern side.
Yeah, your prediction is minus 250. So the rest of our predictions
That's good.
will be fair money lines, pick'ems all the way. I don't care who's playing. Doesn't matter.
That's good. Next game tonight, so that we can get a full prediction in on this one. Pelicans versus Kings. So the Pelicans have been very frisky. They've been very good, much like they were last year. They were at the top of the Western Conference at one point through 20 games or so last season, and then Zion gets hurt. Brandon Ingram gets hurt. That just keeps happening every year for the Pelicans. Like CJ McCollum had a collapsed lung this year. Like I don't know what it is. It looks like he's on his way back. So, CJ, welcome back whenever that happens. But Zion has been balling out. Brandon Ingram's been good when he plays. I don't know. Pelicans are good, and so are the Kings, but Kings aren't as good as they were last year. I don't know. There's something off with the Kings.
Yeah. The Pelicans are in a weird spot because you put Zion, Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum on any other team, and they are getting 30 national TV games a year. And I feel bad for them. I've been to the Smoothie King Center. Interesting place. The
It's fine.
New Orleans deserves a better not team, but they deserve a better moment for themselves. And I hope
They call it the blender.
Yeah, they do. They do. But I hope this season they capture this moment, get some momentum for their future. And I mean, they're not going to give you a deep playoff run, but give me a second round exit against like Denver or something. Like, give me some Zion playoffs. I need that. So
Yeah, the main thing is Zion. If Zion stays healthy, this team is infinitely better just because he's on the court.
Right.
Even if he doesn't perform up to like his standard and he's just like a decoy, they have enough weapons. They have enough people to shoot the basketball well beyond the arc. They play enough defense. Like Jonas Valanciunas, pretty good. Like their team's just good, not top to bottom, but their first 7, 8 guys are solid. And if Zion can stay healthy, they're way more fun to watch. It's just Zion's just fun to watch play basketball.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's it. Give me Pels. Give me Pels in this. I've seen the Kings once this season in person. De'Aaron Fox still wasn't playing, to be fair, but Sabonis, I don't want to say he dropped a stinker, but he was really inconsistent all night. I didn't have fun. Didn't have fun in that game. So I'll go Pels. I like New Orleans.
I don't know what it is with the Kings this season that I haven't seen it yet, or the memories of Light the Beam last year and all the highs that they had and
Yes,
the vibes were immaculate and all that. That doesn't seem to be around this season.
I love this.
It's in the same manner.
Yeah.
I'm
with you.
I'm going to take the Pelicans as well. As long as Zion stays healthy, this team can win a lot of games.
Absolutely.
Problem is they're never healthy.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to count on that. But I'll count on it for one game. I'll take the Pelicans as well.
That's right.
Tuesday night, knockout round. Knicks versus Bucks.
Talk about a fun one, man. Give me Milwaukee in a nail biter though. I know you love your Knicks, and I don't want to shit on them, but man, that Milwaukee team has just been consistently fun, consistently good. I'm not sure again with the injury report, but I'm thinking Milwaukee by 5 or 6. This Knicks team, I'll no, you know what? I'll let you have this Knicks talk, but I'll finish it with Damian. Giannis, Chris Middleton. Team's fun. Squad's deep. There's no reason why they shouldn't at least make the semis, if not the finals, of this play-in tournament.
I don't know if you saw the stat, but this Milwaukee Bucks team has a net rating. It was a few days ago when I saw this, but net rating of 0.4. So
Yikes.
they're exactly even on offense and defense.
Yikes.
And they haven't been very good on offense, which is what everyone expected them to be this season,
Yeah.
which is not good. And now the defense has completely fallen off to where their net rating has plummeted down to almost even. I don't know what it's at now. They've had a few wins since then, probably. But I don't know. I'm obviously taking the Knicks here. I think the Knicks have a chance to really make some noise in this tournament and turn some heads of talking heads that notoriously shit on the Knicks,
Yep.
essentially.
I love how the
Um,
Knicks have been make some noise team for God knows how long now, and we need to keep
right.
this agenda pushing because I love it. Because we don't expect much from
Jalen
them.
Brunson is Jalen Brunson. That's the only reason I just like fully believe in them. Dallas Maverick at one point.
Yep.
Leader of the locker room, leader on the court. His fourth quarter is very similar to Kyrie Irving's fourth quarters, where he
Yes.
just like starts going off,
Yes.
and it's little buckets and it's big buckets at the same time, but
Yeah.
it's just sneaky little moves in the paint and he just lays it in all of
Yeah.
a sudden, and you're like, how did that even like happen?
Yeah.
And Jalen Brunson is just backing people down in the post. He's bigger than everybody, but he's only 6 feet tall.
Literally, I love that take though. I love that take for sure.
He's very good at basketball. And if RJ Barrett is healthy and Julius Randle just doesn't fuck shit up, like if he just literally is just mediocre, they could win this tournament. Mitchell Robinson is also a very big part of this team. I don't think people point out that Mitchell Robinson is playing well above his pay grade on what he's getting paid on his contract. He's very good at basketball, and no one talks about him.
Yeah, one of the more fun centers in the league. Probably one of my favorite in the East too. Him and Capella for sure.
Before the season, I was like, man, if Derek Lively could just act like Mitchell Robinson this season, just like don't foul as much, but rebound, block shots, and dunk the ball on an alley oop and be athletic like you are, that would be sick.
Yep.
Turns out Derek Lively just did something that only 2 other players in the NBA history has ever done, and he did it at 19 years old.
Tell him.
20 points, 15 rebounds, 5 blocks is the measurable on this. I think he had 16 rebounds and 7 blocks on 100% field goal percentage.
Crazy.
Pretty good. So, yeah, if Mitchell Robinson can just do like one of those numbers, yeah, the Knicks are going to win.
Oh yeah,
I'm taking the Knicks, but only because of Jalen Brunson, and I love him dearly, and I miss him.
Respect.
Last game on Tuesday, last game in the knockout round, heading into the semifinals. So the semifinals are in Las Vegas, correct?
Yes.
So yeah,
absolutely.
that'll be a fun environment whenever that happens. I don't remember when that is. Is it this weekend? I think it's this weekend.
I think the semis are in the week, and then the championship is on Saturday.
Yeah. Okay,
that'll be fun.
So yeah, Suns versus Lakers, maybe a potential playoff matchup. A little battle of the greats: KD versus LeBron, Devin Booker versus somebody on the Lakers other than LeBron.
D'Angelo
I don't know.
D'Angelo Russell for sure.
There it is. Now we're Austin Reeves. This Lakers team is lackluster. The Suns team has been lackluster until Devin Booker came back. We haven't even seen Bradley Beal on the court, and we're not going to for this tournament either.
Yep.
But as long as KD and Book are playing, boy, it's a tough matchup for anybody else playing them.
Yep.
I'm taking the Suns. I got to take the Suns.
You got to give me Phoenix too. As much as I love LeBron, even though I was almost halfway shitting on him 25 minutes ago when we started this, LeBron is my GOAT because I got to see him, in person my whole life. But give me Phoenix, regardless. KD and Book, just their vibes are just 10 times better to me, and regardless of all the injuries that Kevin Durant's dealt with, Bradley Beal's currently dealing with, I'll happily take them in even a 7-game series too, because that squad's fun, and I like fun. And if you don't like fun, don't watch the NBA, because this shit is fun.
Oh, absolutely. And Devin Booker, once he came back from injury and had a few games under his feet, he's been back to what he's been elite offensively, but also turns out he can play point guard like pretty well.
Oh yeah,
Not not a bad point guard if you if you ask me, and he's just started playing it for the last 10, 15 games. Like he hasn't played point guard
yeah,
since probably high school.
yeah,
And he probably wasn't even a point guard in high school. It was he's the best player on the team. Let's just inbound it to him and let him figure out what we're doing here.
yeah.
Um, yeah, the Suns are good. The Lakers are fine. Anthony Davis is just not what we thought he was, nor is he ever going to be what we thought he was. I think it's time. We just need to
Yeah.
say he's not going to be the defensive player of the year. He's not going to be the MVP. He will have games where he can appear like he could be. Every 10 games, he probably has 2 of those games. You're like, wow, best player on the court. This is awesome. The other 8 games, he's like 17 and 8.
Yep.
You're like, I mean, we could get a little bit more out of you for $100.
AD is an ultimate spurt guy. When you see AD play and on a good day, that 35 he drops is the most loud 35 I've ever seen. Like we were talking about how Luka and Jokic drop quiet 40s. AD drops the loudest 30 or 35, just like dunks, straight mid-range fadeaways. Like the man will always be able to hoop, but it's just a matter of can he get the ball in his hands? Can he stay healthy? Can him and LeBron still mesh? I mean, they had this idol 3-4 years ago, but
yeah, and he turned it on for those 4 rounds.
Yeah, that was their peak.
Like he was that guy for 3 or 4 of those rounds, and you're like, wow, is Anthony Davis actually the best player? Is he going to win Finals MVP? Of course, they gave it to LeBron. They weren't going to not give it to LeBron.
Exactly.
So yeah, I took the Pacers. Think you took the Celtics. Both took the Pelicans. I took the Knicks. You took the Bucks. We both took the Suns. That would make for a Suns Pels, and then miscellaneous Eastern for us. We both took 2 different Eastern Conference. We picked the same on the West, different on the East. So after the knockout round, which teams do you see advancing to the NBA in-season tournament finals or the NBA Cup finals? I don't know what they're going to call it.
You definitely got to give me a Suns Bucks rematch. In a perfect world, I'd love to see that. I mean, of course, they're probably going to thrust LeBron in there. So it's either going to be a LeBron Knicks situation or a LeBron Bucks situation. But in my personal opinion, I'm definitely with the Suns Bucks rematch. That summer finals just hit different. What was it mid to late July, like middle of baseball season? You're just watching the NBA Finals game. You're like, damn, I'm never gonna see this again unless they change the schedule, of course. But I'm going based off nostalgia, and it's weird that I have nostalgia for something that happened 2 years ago, but I love it. And I want to see it happen again, especially in the inaugural in-season tournament, because we need something to really set the tone on this tournament. And I think that those are 2 of some of the best teams that could be a part of it.
If the NBA is smart, Knicks, Lakers, or Lakers, Celtics is the matchup.
Yeah.
3 of the biggest markets. You get 2 of them in there. That would make the most sense.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping happens, Pelicans, Knicks.
Chaos. You love chaos.
Because it would be the grossest, and they would be so mad because they're like, at least we got the Knicks in there. They're playing the Pelicans in Vegas.
Yeah.
There are no Pelicans fans. That's not going to happen. They would never let that happen. It will probably be Lakers, Celtics somehow.
Of course.
I would assume that's how they're going to make it work. The NBA, like Tim Donaghy's going to come back from the dead.
Yeah.
Just ref all of these games with Scott Foster, and it's just going to end up with Lakers, Celtics, and we're going to have to deal with it. That's what's going to happen. LeBron's going to be in the finals. We're going to deal with it. I would enjoy LeBron in the finals. You know, he may never get another one, so you could just add an NBA Cup to his resume and be like, hey, I got 5.
Yep.
I got 5, boys.
Jordan never had an NBA Cup.
Yeah, really makes you think. But it's been fun, and they've all been really good games. We're actually talking about basketball in November and December. Like, that hasn't really happened in the past.
Exactly.
Bill Simmons never pays attention to the NBA until Christmas, really. And he's been talking about it. He's got full episodes every week now on the NBA instead of just football.
Wow.
So, big steps for Spotify Bill, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Hopefully he's not part of the Spotify layoffs that happened today. 17% of the company's getting laid off.
Oh.
You know, hope Bill Simmons makes it through. You know, Hope he makes the cut.
Absolutely. We stand with you, Bill. This is a Bill Simmons podcast.
This is officially, we're going to change the name. This is Bill Simmons talking basketball nonsense podcast.
Stone doing Bill Simmons impressions for 30 minutes.
Stone from Alabama trying to do a Boston, Connecticut Bill Simmons accent, acting like he knows what he's talking about basketball podcast.
Exactly. And it works too.
Josh, if we could get the graphic spun up here, that'd be great with all of those words in there.
Oh, yeah.
Make it fit
in
the frame. This has been Apollo Media's NBA podcast, Zero Gravity. This has been brought to you by Zing Zang's Blazing Bloody Mary Mix. Go get your Blazing Bloody Mary Mix today. And The Celebrity Mint. Go check out the links below to check out all of the cool stuff that Celebrity Mint has on their website, celebritymint.com, and follow them on social media at The Celebrity Mint. Basketball is happening. It's currently 92-87. About 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter of the Boston-Indiana game in the knockout stage. It's a fun game, and we're going to go catch the rest of it. This has been Apollo Media's NBA podcast, Zero Gravity.